Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Anpa webinar number 15. Today, we are going to be diving into the business of medicine and insurance revenue recovery for private and group practices. The presentation today will be presented by MedX Prime and WebRx for doctors. I'm Dr. Stanley Okoro. I'm one of the moderators. Susan will not be joining us today. Today is Saturday, March 13th. But before we start, we do have the pleasure of having the AMPA National President, Dr. Christopher Okunseri, talk to us about AMPA. AMPA sponsors this webinar for everyone. Chris.
Thanks, Dr. Okoro, for the opportunity. Once again, I want to welcome all AMPA members, potential members who are on this call. But at the same time, I also want to thank all the members of the panel who continue to share with us their wealth of experience, their wealth of knowledge, so that we all can benefit from this. But please remember, AMPA is a 501c3 organization. We were founded back in 1995, so we're over 25 years of age, and we represent over 5,000 physicians, dentists, and allied health professionals of Nigerian birth and ethnicity. And we continue to use this forum to provide value to our members. We engage in the medical mission, we engage in the leadership opportunities, we engage in practice referrals, we benefit from the networking amongst ourselves so that we can all know, where everybody is and help and assist professionally and otherwise. So at the end of the day, I always use this opportunity to thank the organizers. The organizers continue to work tirelessly. Dr. Okoro has been working on this with Mr. Enyi Kanu. We thank him, and we continue to, benefit from this opportunity. So without taking too much of your time, I want to open it up or get this back to Stanley and his crew to take us on to the next level. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chris. Since Susan is in a flight right now, going back home, so she wanted me to just talk about AMPA membership and the many ways AMPA is connected, either on Instagram at AMPA_national, or on Facebook at AMPA National, or Twitter, AMPA blog. Of course, many AMPA members receive the AMPA email group, which is a way to communicate with everyone else. There's a lot of announcements and calendar on the AMPA website at ampa.org. If you have any questions on how to connect with your local chapter, you can also reach the membership group at membership@ampa.org. In terms of this webinar, the AMPA monthly webinar is the first Saturday of every month. Today is a special webinar for private and group practices on how to recover their insurance. Otherwise, it's the first Saturday of every month. It's always going to be at 12 noon Eastern for an hour. This whole webinar has been an intentional aggregation of subject matter experts, and has always been the highest and best use of our time. It's free to AMPA members, so feel free to share among AMPA people. Just the next webinar will be Saturday, April 3rd at 12 noon, and that will be on disability insurance for healthcare or medical professionals. So that's that. And just as a disclaimer, the materials presented at all AMPA webinar is for general educational information purposes only, and is solely the opinion of the presenter. No webinar is intended to provide personalized financial or legal advice. It is left to the discretion and judgment, and is the sole responsibility of each attendee to determine what is necessary for his or her own practice. Neither the speakers or AMPA can be held responsible for the materials, opinion, and any inadvertent error or omission in the preparation or presentation of the material. Furthermore, nothing in the material should be construed as an endorsement by AMPA. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce Anyi. Anyi is no stranger to AMPA. Anyi is an innovator. He is a speaker. He is a financial counselor. I call him, he will be your quarterback in your financial uh, life, and professional and personal life. I've known him for a few years now, and I think Anyi is online. Anyi, we can't see you. I would like for you to introduce our guest speakers and our team. Are you ready, Anyi?
I am ready. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Let me start by apologizing to everyone on this call.
We're on time.
Okay. You will know because you're the boss.
Yeah, we're on time. There's no late.
Well, good. So welcome again. As Stanley just talked about, one of the benefits of AMPA membership is financial literacy. What we've been engaged to do at the Wealth RX Advisor Network is to provide AMPA members with information, education, and actionable ideas. As he said, on a monthly basis, what we do is we provide, and we do have a curriculum that is anchored in best practices in financial planning and business planning. It incorporates estate planning. It incorporates income protection, asset protection, tax planning, insurance planning, investment planning, and it's pretty holistic. This briefing is actionable and it's targeted to those of you who are business owners practicing medicine, because when you're in the practice of medicine, you are a business owner. And one of the greatest blessings of being in this country is being a business owner, because the government loves you, because the government uses you to implement a lot of its goals and objectives. And in return, the government gives you credits, deductions, and other benefits for being a business owner. Now, that's not what we're here to talk about today, because this is a private briefing, which is about taking action. We have arguably one of the top companies and experts in the collection of medical insurance receivables. This is an example of a membership benefit with AMPA. Ken Newton, Chief Operating Officer at MedX Prime, MR2, and Sunil Wadhwa, who is the president of MedX Prime, MR2. Their mission is to help you collect money that you're leaving on the table, most of the time by design, unintentionally. And so I'm going to let them talk to you about what's happening, because you need to hear from those who are in the field doing this work. So Ken, I'm going to hand it over to you, and then you can bring Sunil on.
And yeah, I'm not sure if Ken made it back onto this call.
Well, then Sunil, take over.
Yeah, I'll take over.
Ahead.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for the invitation, and appreciate everybody's time. My name is Sunil Wadhwa. We are in Northern California. So good morning or good afternoon, depending on what part of the country you're calling in from. It's our pleasure to share with you some very, very important information for your practices on this webinar. Next slide, please. Thank you. In our opinion, we believe that truly there is a crisis, if you will, going on in the medical community when it comes to the denied insurance claims. There's a huge problem. I'm on the phone with doctors across the country on a daily basis, and it seems to be a general problem with most practices, including the ongoing monthly billing side of it. Every day that these denied claims sit on your books, so to speak, they are falling off the cliff, as we like to share in our webinars and our graphics. You see the dollars falling off the cliff because time is of the essence. There is what is called timely filing deadlines. And shockingly, many of the practices that we speak to are not quite aware of the timely filing deadlines. And generally, there's about a year that we can chase these dollars down for you. Otherwise, they will fall off the cliff. A better picture that I like to share with our clients is simply envision, if you will, a big stack of money in the corner of your office right now. And that stack is just continuing to grow month after month of those denied insurance claims, that your billers, whether in-house or a billing company, just have not been able to recover. Now, you're not going to recover every claim, we know that, but there are certainly claims out there that can be recovered if properly done. So envision, again, in the corner of your office, the stack of money that keeps growing month after month after month. But also keep this vision in mind that every single day, today, for example, you will have X claims that will fall off the cliff if you are having any insurance accounts receivable issues going on. Tomorrow, there will be X claims that will fall off the cliff and so on because that timely deadline has now expired for a certain amount of those claims. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is our specialty. We go after those claims. There's articles after articles after articles that show, in this article, it says 68 billion in lost healthcare spending can be attributed to medical billing mistakes. Next slide, please. There's, again, articles after articles. I won't spend too much time on these, but it says the same thing. The revenue loss due to incorrect billing or lack of follow-up, by the way, because your folks, whether they're in-house staff or the billing companies, they simply don't have the time to go after the denied insurance claims. Why? Because it's extremely time consuming. Our people sometimes will be on a call with a insurance company representative, without exaggeration, sometimes an hour, hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours, ladies and gentlemen, for one claim. So it's a very, very tedious process. Hence, most of the staff members just don't have the time because they're so busy trying to stay up on your current billing and collections. Next slide, please. The world of medical billing, which I know I'm preaching to the choir, as they say, I'm sure each of you know, it's a very complex world. I compare it to the tax code, if you will. The combination of diagnostic codes and procedure codes, it's literally hundreds of thousands, if not millions of different combinations, if you will. So you have to have a person that really knows, frankly, what they're doing, and certainly have to have a check and balance in place. And we have that within our company. Next slide, please. Just to, again, give you a visual, here's what happens in most practices every day. This is what's happening. You provide patients with services, of course, and then your in-house staff or billing company you've hired then bills out. And just to keep numbers very clear and simple and round, let's say that your biller is billing at 100,000 for your services this month. Now, the national average is somewhere around 60 to 70% of those dollars are generally collected. And I'm going to tell you that that's, I think, an incorrect number. I'm only citing it because that's what various articles out there cite, that 60 to 70% of what your billers will bill is collected. I, again, can argue that number all day long because the doctors and practice administrators and office managers that we speak to every day, we find that some of them are collecting only 50%, some are collecting 40%, some are collecting only 30%, believe it or not. So I would argue that number, but let's stay with the national average of 60 to 70%. So what happens? They bill out 100 grand for you, they collect 60 or 70, somewhere in there, and the other 30 to 40,000, they just don't have the time to go back and work it, as I just mentioned. So every month that 30 to 40 just accumulates, and they just continue to accumulate till they hit that filing deadline and they fall off the cliff. Now, we talk to practices that have literally hundreds of thousands, and in some cases millions of dollars in these denied insurance claims. That's what we're talking about here again. Next slide, please. So kind of picture us as the cavalry, if you will. We're the guys that are going to come in and try to get as much of those dollars back. It's kind of free money, if you will, because as I just said, those dollars will fall off the cliff if nothing is done. Let's get some of those dollars back in your pocket. It's absolutely a win-win situation. And I'm very humbled to share this with you. We've been elected as a 2019 and 2020 top 10 revenue cycle management company. And ladies and gentlemen, it's not that we're a big company and that's why we were ranked. We're actually a very small company. However, we were ranked because of the attention to details. I like to call it the 1%ers, if you will. We are very good at the details. We have an amazing follow-up with our clients. We're very accessible, and I'll run through some of those points of our company here in just a few minutes. As we are great at the billing or the AR recovery side, we too have to be great at the ongoing billing, of course, the monthly billing side, which we are, and we've also been ranked as a top 10 company there. So very proud again to tell you that we're a top 10 company on the AR recovery side, as well as on the billing side. Here's a couple articles. We're happy to share those articles with you if you like to glance through those articles. But let me give you just a quick top 12 reasons, if you will, why the medical community does business with our company. Our company is Medix Prime Revenue Recovery. Fondly, we are known as MR2, and the reason we've coined it as that is that we deliver our services to the highest power. And frankly, those are not just mere words. That's the culture of our company. When you become a client, you'll immediately see the difference, frankly, and I say that very humbly, but you'll see an immediate difference with working with our team than what you've experienced if you're having some issues with your billing companies or even your in-house staff, frankly. We're in Northern California. Our billing team has tremendous experience, and again, the AR and billing side, as I mentioned. We work on a bulldog tenacity mindset. We work for you and those dollars as if they were our dollars. And again, those aren't just mere words. We work with our clients like a true partnership. It's very important for us to go after every dollar. We prove our abilities, and this is a somewhat unique in the market for us. We prove our abilities by doing some extensive work on your behalf without it costing you anything. It's called our WOW report. And it's funny how that name came about. Early stages of our company, as we were doing these reports and coming back and sharing our findings with the doctor or office manager, we kept hearing the word wow. Wow, why didn't my staff tell me this? Wow, why didn't my billing company share this with us? And so we coined it as a wow report. Let me just make sure you're clear. What does this mean? If I have piqued your interest today, we'll set up a very brief 10-minute call. We're very quick about our calls with our doctors. We know how crazy busy everybody is. So for literally 10 minutes, and we'll be on for an hour if you wish, we'll answer any and all questions that you have. At that point, if you say go, we will do this free no cost, no obligation, WOW report. What that simply means is we will analyze your AR, and within 48 to 72 hours generally, we will come back and present to you our findings. The good, the bad, the ugly, as they say. You'll know what's going on. You'll know why those claims were not paid. And then generally what might be able to be done with those dollars. You know, if you have 100,000, how'd you like to get 20, 30, 40 of those back in your pocket? Again, if you don't do anything, they're going to be lost. So that's what our WOW report is. Again, doesn't cost you a dime for us to do that. Costs us a lot of money. We put a lot of effort. Our team goes to work, and in most cases, we're spending 20 to 30 hours, depending on the complexity of your situation, even more time to create these reports. We do a full analysis. We look at every claim. We get on the phone, talk to the insurance companies and say, why was this claim denied? So there's a tremendous amount of work done on our behalf. And again, at no cost to you. Once we deliver the message to you and share with you the good, bad, and the ugly, as they say, then you make a decision whether you want to employ us to go after those dollars, or if you don't, we wish each other well, and nothing out of pocket on your end. At least you get another set of eyes on your practice and on your books to see what's actually going on. Absolute accessibility. We hear this all the time from doctors that they have an impossible time reaching their billing staff or billing company if they've contracted out. With us, you get absolute accessibility. Enya could attest to that. Every time we get a text message, an email, a phone call, we're right on it. Our culture of our company is that we respond within 24 hours, but hardly ever will you ever wait more than an hour, at the most couple hours, to get a call back or any response from our staff. We do nothing, and this is again very important. We hear this all the time from our clients as well. We do nothing without your understanding, and more importantly, your approval. We hear from clients, you know, I didn't tell my billing guys to do that. I didn't tell them to write off all this. I didn't, you know, we hear these types of responses, and you will have none of that with our company. We do not unilaterally or arbitrarily write off your dollars. They're your dollars. We will tell you what's going on, and you will make that decision, and only then will we act. Total transparency, clarity. Again, I'm being somewhat redundant there, but I can't emphasize that enough. That is a shortcoming in most of the billing companies out there that we hear horror stories about. We're compliance driven. This is also very shocking to us. It's amazing that staff and many billing companies out there will send data through just open email format. In fact, not too long ago, a few months back, we have a big hospital that we were working on, and they sent us patient data, and it was in an Excel format and an open format in an email. And we were just blown away that such a big hospital would do something that silly that could jeopardize them in a very, very big way. From day one, as you work with us, we use an encrypted system. Everything is sent to you via an encryption. It's very simple format, but we're that careful with the privacy of your patients and to follow the HIPAA laws. Highly competitive pricing, and we can certainly get into that. I'll share with you our AR pricing here in just a moment. But frankly, and I say this very humbly again, but with our knowledge, expertise, and service, clients are amazed at the low cost of our service and the tremendous results they get. Bottom line, our motto is very simple. We believe that you, the medical community, should have every penny that you have rightfully earned. And I have to share a quick story with you. Just recently, just a couple weeks back now, we have a lady that's joined our company, and she comes from the insurance side of things. She's been an auditor and in many different capacities with insurance companies. And she shared a story with Ken and I that I guess we knew, but it really solidified it, and frankly shocked us to really hear it. Again, not that we didn't know it, but here's what she said. She says, you know, in our department, in our claims department, we actually have daily contests, she says, with our staff. All the staff, they are involved with a daily contest as to how many claims they can deny. And she said, I got so sick of it. She says, I saw claims that should have been rightly paid to the doctors, but they were being denied. And that is just sickening to me when I heard that, and validated by this young lady. Just a few examples. We can share a lot more with you, but here's just a few examples of some of our team's recent wins on the AR recovery side. As you can see, pain specialty practice at 1.5 million in ARs. We recovered nearly 600,000 in 4 months for that practice. And again, not to spend and belabor too much time here, but you can see the numbers are quite impressive. Generally within, depending on the complexities again of your practice, is 3 to 4 months, 5 months, and we conclude the project. So the pricing is quite very simple. There's no gotchas, as they say. There are no setup fees to get underway. If we recover nothing, we get paid nothing. Okay, it's just that simple. And our fee is very simple. It's 20% of whatever we collect for you. So if you have $100,000 and we collect 50, as some simple numbers here, you get 40 and we get 10. It's really that simple. We bill you monthly. So whatever we've collected, all the money is of course sent to you directly from our efforts, and we'll bill you monthly. And it's really that simple. And I cannot overly stress this. This money will be lost if nothing is done. It's just really that simple. You're welcome to visit our website. If you have a couple quick minutes, you can browse through that. There's some additional information there that you're welcome to review on our website. Next slide, please. We have a 3.5-minute video on the website as well that you're welcome to watch. It'll further give you a little bit more information, perhaps in what I've just covered here. Next slide, please. I'd like to take the opportunity, and I want to thank Tayo. She's just been an amazing client of ours for the last 3+ years now. And we've invited her to just share her quick experience with MedX Prime Revenue Recovery and our team. Tayo, I can't thank you enough for taking your valuable time, my dear, this morning to be, this afternoon, your time, to be on this call. If you would kindly, are you unmuted? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, she's muted.
Yeah, I think you're still muted there.
Mute yourself. I can unmute you.
Generally on the left bottom of your screen. Tayo, if you can hear me, on the left bottom of your screen.
She's
Okay. How about now?
Ah, beautiful. Yes, we can hear
Okay.
you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I feel very much I'm honored and humbled that you consider our practice to be part of this highly big providers and people in the business. First, my name is Tayo Odunlami, and my husband, Adebayo Odunlami, has been in practice. He graduated from the University of Ibadan in Nigeria, qualified as a doctor in 1977. And we moved to, he worked for the military in Nigeria for a while. We had a private practice, moved to the US in 1995. And he opened the practice he had a residency at Metropolitan Hospital in New York, and worked in the emergency rooms at Metropolitan, Our Lady of Mercy, Montefiore, and all over the place. So we now relocated to Ocala because we have 3 kids, they're all grown up and everybody just decided to go their own way. So we were kind of tired having to work all night and all day, having to shovel snow because we live in Westchester County. So it's always snowing and cold. So we were assuming that one of our boys will just have a next parcel of land next to where we're living, where we can just put up a place for him to stay, and he will be helpful to us in easing the burden of snow shoveling. But unfortunately, they just went all over the place in America. So we felt enough of shoveling snow. And then after much talking with our friends, we had the option of, we had a couple of options, but then we chose to come to Ocala. So moving forward, 2009, we started the practice. Everything was fine. I have no idea. We didn't think of any billing company. We're doing everything in the office. Money was coming. We're living fine. So then we had a problem with our software company in 2000 and I believe 13, and people kind of were saying that everybody's not what you think is good in one software company, the other person will not be good at it, but they're all the same thing. But eventually we just said, let's change the software company, and then we have this company that provided billing, incorporated billing as part of what they were doing. So everything was kind of, okay, we're fine. And then about 2017 was really the roughest year in my life, as far as I can remember. So we're just working and sending claims and everything just kept on coming back, or they will pay us, they will take back. And know that that Christmas 2017, we hardly had enough money to pay to meet our expenses. We had to go into our savings. And like, what was going on? I had no idea. And of course, to make it work, to compound our problem, there was no physical representative of any of the insurance companies. We were mostly HMO-based provider. So in kind of talking about it, somebody in that other software company suggested Medex. So, and I was like, I said, my God, I don't know who to trust again. So then I said, you know what it's not going to get worse than what it was at that 2017, 2018. Let me just give it a try. So I had this call with Mary, and I believe it was with Mary and Ken on Saturday. And then I was able to convince my husband. I said, let's just try it and see what it is. If it doesn't work, there's no contract, we just leave them. But I must say that Saturday meeting I had with Mary and Ken, it was the day that the darkness in our life just got turned like 1,000,000% into being bright. Not only were they able to help us to clean our records, virtually more than half of what they claimed that we're owing to pay back to the company, United Healthcare, Prestige, they were able to talk with them and then work with them, and eventually got most of the supposed overpayment reduced drastically. And then they were able to get them to agree with us as to what we can conveniently pay them in the overpayment. And then moving forward, it has just been, we have no problem. And the staff are always there. They're very professional. You call people, they are relatable, and then they know what they're doing. And everybody, even though I haven't met any of them in person, I'm ready. They're my family, because I know that when I pick up the phone at any time of the day or write an email, they are always there. And I just can't say more of Ken and Sonia. And Emily, they are more than wonderful. And I keep on trying to see people in Ocala that I know have a problem, that you have no other company to go to apart from Medex. But so far, because of how Ocala is, most of the providers seem to have people that they think they enjoy right now. But I do know that if anybody comes to me, I'll have an opportunity of telling them it's only Medex Prime. And I can say that business with them, you'll never regret it. They are wonderful, they are experienced, and they're loving, and they're very thorough, very, very thorough. So I just go to bed at night and just sleep. I have nothing to worry about. And so I just can't say enough. Thank you so much, Sunil, and thank you, Ken. We love you, and we look forward to seeing you someday. I really do.
Thank you, Tayo. Thank you for the kind words. Really appreciate your taking the time to be on this call. And
you are worth it. You're worth it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So, ladies and gentlemen, bottom line is, if you have any denied insurance claims, which I'm sure you all do to some degree, unfortunately, time is of the essence, as I mentioned earlier, and we're happy to help you with that situation as described. We will, again, just to recap, we'll get on a quick 10-minute phone call, answer any of your questions in private so that we're not on an open call, and take 10 minutes to answer your questions. If you tell us to go, we'll create the WOW report generally within 48 to 72 hours, again, depending on the size of your AR and the complexities of your practice. And at that point, we'll set up a follow-up go-to meeting call, a Zoom call, and we will literally show you the report slide by slide of our findings. And at that point, all of that has cost you absolutely zero. Once we show you the results, then you make a decision whether you like to have our company do its best to chase down and recover as much money as we can for you within the 3 to 5 month time frame, generally, depending on, again, the size of it. So if we have piqued your interest, and we certainly hope we have this morning, this afternoon, please send an email or call Enye's office, and he will then coordinate the time and date with you. Enye, I'll turn it over to you, sir.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you, Sunil. Thank you, Sunil.
Thank you, sir.
Where
Thank you,
the
everybody.
questions are, you can feel comfortable. If you feel comfortable, you can ask your own questions. If you want me to ask your questions for you, you can drop it on the chat, either privately or to everyone, or you can send it to me by text message. Either way, the floor is open for questions and answers. But as the moderator, I just want to ask Tayo. Tayo said that 2017 was her worst year. Tayo, how about 2020? Are you still there?
I think she may have jumped off, it looks like.
Okay, I thought 2020 was everyone's worst year, but she said 2017. Sunil, a question that was sent to me was, do you help practices negotiate contracts or you just do the billing?
That's a great question. So if a client becomes our billing client, as well as a AR recovery client, there are actually 12 enhanced services that are at no additional cost, part of the monthly fee that we charge for the billing side. And part of that is that we will take a look at the contracts that the practice is currently under, and we will assist with that. So yes, the answer is yes.
Because a lot of times some of the practices can't negotiate, I mean,
That's right. That's exactly right. And part of an additional service that we provide on an ongoing basis is that we have a way to see if your practice is earning the dollars you should be on a claim, because what we have found is a similar practice may be earning a little bit more in the area that you're in than you are earning. So that prompts us to go back to the insurance companies to get you a better pricing. So all of these services, again, just to reiterate, these are no cost services, and many companies will charge you a la carte, if you will. And again, we have a brochure flyer type that we can send to you, Stanley. And if anybody has any questions, or Enye will have it for us, and when you contact him, he can forward that to you. And it outlines the 12 additional services that we provide at no additional cost.
Sunil, the last question I had was, is there a size of the practice that you have to work with? Do you work with small, big, or do you choose? How does that work?
Yeah, it's across the board. We have single practitioners to multi practitioners in practices. So yeah, it doesn't matter. We'll take a look at, in fact, we have just brought on board 2 brand new practices to help the doctors grow. And so we're open to working with any size practice.
Okay. Enye, do you have anything to add?
I was wondering if Dr. Lumide had a question, and I saw him. I thought he was raising his hand or something.
Yeah, well, it's been a wonderful presentation. One of my questions is, Mr. What's his name? What's this? Not Stanley.
Sunil.
Yeah, Mr. Sunil is
Yes.
way there, or way out there in California, and we are way down here in the East Coast, in the deep South. How does that work? I mean, I'm used to seeing my vendors or people I'm working with face to face, or the area. So how does this work with this distance?
Well, we have clients, doctor, all over the country. As you just heard from Tayo, she's in Florida, we're in California. We have literally, as you just heard, changed her life, truly. And she didn't say this, but 3 years ago, she didn't have a life. She says she was running 24 hours, trying to keep everything. She wasn't spending time with her family. And we gave her life back because we took all that burden upon away from her and upon us. So, in today's world with technology, as we're experiencing even on this call, face-to-face, I believe in face-to-face. I love face-to-face, but frankly, in the line of work we're in, it's not necessary. You will have direct access to us, as you heard Tayo. Those are not just, again, words. When we say you'll have my personal phone, you'll have Ken's personal phone, you'll immediately get responses from us. And so the distance has no bearing, frankly. It's the level of experience that is more important, and the level of follow-up that is the most critical here. And we have.
Oh, sorry.
Dr.
Yeah.
Soremi has a question. Sorry, go ahead.
My interest will be in the area of insurance companies, negotiations about the contracts. I know people around me, hospitals and other group practices are getting paid more. And I don't remember ever negotiating my contracts with the insurance company for increase in payment. So that's an area where I'll be very interested in.
Wonderful. If you would kindly reach to Enye, and Enye, we can coordinate a good time for the doctor and time and date. If you can provide a good time for yourself, we can get on a call. No problem.
Okay.
Let me
Dr. Soremi.
Yeah, thanks, Stanley. Sunil, can I just give you certain insurance companies, or you have to do the entire revenue? I mean, like if I'm having trouble with Blue Cross Blue Shield or United Health, can I just have you handle that, or you must take the whole revenue?
When you say take the whole revenue, if I'm understanding your question, we would like to analyze where all of your ARs are. And when we determine that these are the 5 payers that most of your claims are having issues with, then we would, of course, attack those 5 payers and get as much reimbursement back for you as possible. So yeah, we don't cherry pick, so to speak. Hey, Sunil, we just work on Blue Cross, because again, why would you not want us to work on the other 4, 5, 6 payers that haven't paid you, right? So our goal would be to go after all of your ARs that again will fall off the cliff if we don't do something about them. So the answer is we go after all of your ARs.
Okay, that's fine. So you don't do the ones the client has things they have a problem with. You just do the whole thing.
Great question. Thank you for bringing that up. My error. I didn't make that clear. We do not do patient collections. If that's your question, we only go after insurance company denied claims.
I'm sorry, that is not my question. My question
okay.
is that if I have a problem with United Healthcare, can I come to you and say, Sunil, my AR is a problem with United Healthcare. Can you attack that AR for me? Can I hire you to work on that AR for me, or you must take over my whole AR? That's what I'm asking.
Well, I mean,
let me jump in, Sunil.
It depends. Go ahead, please, Enya.
I think usually we ask the question, how do you know that this specific company is where you have a problem? How can you determine that? What qualifies you to make that determination? And Sunil, you can add to this. Here's the thing that we bring to you as an organization. We bring you experts. We bring you the who's. What you do is practice medicine. It's not collect. What these guys do is they bring you the expertise to know, even if it's not hurting you right now, it could be hurting you without your knowing it. So doctors practice medicine and let the experts take care of the different aspects of the things you're doing in your personal life, in your business life, and so on. The other thing I wanted to add real quickly is when they give these presentations, they talk about cost. from our vantage point, we look at these relationships as investments. And typically you're going to have and receive 1, 2, 3, whatever it is, times whatever the investment is that you're making in these things. So this is an example. So maybe you can add to it.
No, and to answer the doctor's question, if you have a problem going on with United Healthcare, we'll take a look at those claims, and if there's a problem, we'll go after it. Sure. Obviously, again, as I said, you would probably want us to take a look at the other claims too, to see if there's any issues. So we can talk on a private call, Doc, and see what issues you're dealing with. But yeah, we're open to working on your ARs, whatever extent that is.
Well, thank you, Sunil, for a wonderful presentation. We will definitely be reaching out to you for our insurance problems. Do you have anything to add?
No, this is, again, a value of membership. And those of you who have been involved in the curriculum for the last 12 months, give or take, understand what we're doing. This is a briefing that is very specifically targeted to enable those of you in the practice itself, in the business practice, to take action. You must recall that one of the things that we normally show in our curriculum when I introduce, those of you who have participated have seen the pyramid. And the pyramid, the foundation of that pyramid is cash flow that derives from your practice of medicine and avoiding losses. Now, as as was talked about earlier here, you don't even know what you're not collecting because you're collecting what you believe is enough and you're getting disqualified without even knowing it. It's the same thing with taxes. And so, like Sunil talked about, there are deadlines for these things and they fall off a cliff. People a lot of times just file their taxes and think, oh, the compliance-oriented tax practitioner or CPA, tax preparer, because they're compliance-oriented, they just tell you what you owe and you think that you can't do anything about it. It's exactly the same kind of thing. So we solve and provide you solutions that you can act on with regard to tax planning and versus tax preparation, with regard to insurance revenue collections versus what the experience typically is. So that's those are the values that you get of your membership in Anpa, this kind of information that hopefully you can act on. Thanks, Stanley.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you for everyone's attention today. Our next webinar is Saturday, April 3rd, 2021. I would also like to do a shout out to my friend, Dr. Gertie Anwoke, who has a seminar today as well at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on the psychiatric and neuropsychological complications of COVID-19. So a little shout out to her for all the hard work she's doing. We look forward to talking to you guys next our next webinar, April 3rd. Thank you, everyone. I don't know. I think Dr. Okinsere is no longer on the call. Otherwise, you guys have a wonderful day. All these webinars are less than an hour, so you can have the rest of your day. Thank you for attending.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Thanks, Stanley.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.